Hi there, I'm Gary Peter Carlson, and I'm very happy you chose to watch this video. My website is icheckyoursoul.com, and I consider myself the world's expert on souls. And I want to teach you a few things today that'll help you understand the reality we're in a lot better. Basically, all of us are souls, and souls live forever, and we're incarnated in human bodies that are temporary. There's all living things must have a soul to be alive. That is, biological living things. And basically, there's 18 lines of DNA that account for all biological living things. And 9 of them get a soul that has empathy, and 9 of them get a soul that doesn't have empathy. And these are the second density living things. On the side that has empathy, you got the 4 animals, which are mammals, birds, fish, and major sea life, and an animal group that's not on Earth. For the plants, you got flowers, vegetables, trees, and grasses that include ferns and herbs. And you got microbes for digestion and decay. On the side that doesn't have empathy, you got reptiles, insects, spiders, and you got shellfish, slugs, and parasites, and those type of things. And plants, you got fungus, mold, grains, and various types of weeds. And you got the microbes for disease. Now, there's 3 on each side that can become third density people like us. On the side with empathy, there's mammal people like us, there's bird people, and there's vegetable people that are very rare, but some planets have them. And the side without empathy, you got reptiles, insect people, and spider people on various planets. People that don't have empathy for others tend toward negative, service to self, controlling and or manipulating others, while the side people that have empathy tend toward love and service for others. But there's bad and good on both sides. You can go on my Who's in Power page, and at the top of the page, there's some scales to rate groups. If they don't have empathy, the higher the number, the more negative, and 12 is neutral, and a number below 12, which would mean they're positive. And the side that has empathy, the higher the number, the more positive. 12 would be neutral, and below 12 would be negative. Humanity, I think, is rated 83 or something like that. And I get all my information with the pendulum, so none of it's proven. And sometimes I make mistakes and correct it. But I go along, and most of my information seems to fit in as I go along. Now, if you notice on Earth, the people you know and you're friends with, and the people you meet and hang around, you don't really see very many super evil people or pedophiles or people that use adrenochrome or people that are child trafficking and all those evil stuff like that. Mm. But you read about it and hear about it on the internet, and you're wondering how can this be one, and how are these people so evil? But I don't know people like that, or I could never be that way. Well, the reason is these people aren't human. They got human bodies just like us, but they don't have human souls. They got reptilian souls. And there's about 4 million people like that on Earth, and they're controlling the planet. And there's 4 different kinds of them. And you might ask, how does a human body get a reptilian soul? It's a little complicated, but there's a couple ways it happens. One way is they grow clones. Now, they can take genetic material from a person, and with proper skill and equipment, they can actually grow a person. And in 3 months, they can grow a person just like us, and it won't be alive until they add a soul. And they can add any third density soul to it to bring that person alive. So, what I'm saying is, any third density soul can incarnate in any third density body if it's set up that way, or if it's planned and set up. So, reptilians, for them to reproduce, they all lay eggs. And the eggs they lay have a soul. And they have a way of smashing the egg and using magnetic confinement to trap the soul. Now, you probably heard that you get to pick your own life on the soul plane and decide who your parents are and stuff like that. And I agree that's true from what I've learned. And the same thing on the soul plane with these reptilians. When they're deciding what they're going to be on their next life, they choose to be in an egg that's going to get smashed and put into a human being, and they're choosing this life to be what you would call Illuminati, to be their soul go in a human body. They want to do that and think it's going to be a great life where they'll have all kinds of riches and power and an easy life or whatever. And most of the time, it probably works out the way it is right now. And they can grow at least two kinds of clones from what I hear. One type of clone, they can grow it in about 3 months until it's the right size and age of a person. And then they can add their reptilian soul. They can somehow release the soul from magnetic confinement into the clone to bring the clone alive. And they have a way with computer equipment and stuff, and they can kind of put the information in the body in about 1 week. So this person can read, write, and talk in like one language. Now, if they want this clone to be somebody else, In other words, if they took cells from Joe Biden and grew another Joe Biden, they could make the clone be able to read, write, and talk in a week, and then in another 3 months, they could teach this clone to have the memories and the mannerisms and the skill to be another Joe Biden or whatever. So basically, in about 4 to 7 months, they can create a clone that'll enter into society and be just like us. And now this clone could have children too. So they make initially they grew a lot of female clones, and they put reptilian souls in them, and then they released them in society, and they chose men with good DNA, and they would mate these female clones with those men. And when a woman has children, her children always get a soul from the same group that the mother's soul is in. So if the mother has a female soul, the children, if the mother has a reptilian soul, the children will get a reptilian soul from that reptilian group. And so that's the two ways that people can have reptilian souls. They can be a clone and receive a reptilian soul when they're made, and then the clone can have children and make people with reptilian souls. And that's how they got about 4 million of them on Earth. Now there's 4 reptilian groups that has been putting people on Earth, and I think it's been going on for about 6,000 years. And I think humanity completely wiped out these people with reptilian souls 3 times, and this is the 4th time they're doing it again. You've probably read and heard that they changed our history, and they erased all the history books, and they started society over again, and we don't really know our history. There's some information and things about our history, but they changed some of it, and it's unclear what our true history is. People have discovered ancient things with high technology and stuff like that, so it's unclear. Now, the dominant reptilian group on Earth is called Draconians, and they have their souls in the leaders in the West, Northern and Central Europe, some of the African countries, and also like Australia, New Zealand, and various other countries have people with draconian souls running that country. United States and England are clear examples of this. Now, there's another group called lizards, where there's lizard people, and they also grew clones and put their souls in the people. And they're in Southern Europe, Central Asia, some of the African countries, most of South America. Not every country, but a lot of them. If you look on my website, there's a page called Who's in Power, and it kind of shows which reptilian group is running each country. Now, I get all this information with dowsing, but as I go along the way, I listen and watch things and and see what happens. And all this information I'm putting out seems to add up. I'm not making it up. I'm asking my guides and higher density people with the pendulum what's what and who has what kind of soul. And it pretty much adds up. Like I ask what kind of soul Trump has, and I get lizard. Well, most of the people in this country have a draconian soul. And the draconians and lizards are kind of battling for who's going to control the earth more than the other groups. And so the draconians hate Trump because he's got a lizard soul, and they want to keep him from being in power because the lizards will take over power and the draconians will be taken out of power, and they don't want to be taken out of power. You heard of this group called the White Hats? They're mostly people with lizard souls and human souls, and they're battling the draconians. They're grabbing draconians that have done outright crimes in humanity, and they're arresting and executing them in that military base in Cuba, Guantanamo Bay or whatever. They're grabbing draconians and they're bringing them over there and executing them whenever they can and trying to take power. I think at the moment the draconians still have the most power. Now there's also a group of reptilians souls called snakes, and they run the Middle Eastern countries, India and the Arab countries, and some of the countries that end in Stan and that area. And if you look at some of the ancient Indian religious books, you'll see pictures of these people. They look like a person that has a head and arms and hands, and they got like a snake bottom. You'll see pictures of them, and they're called snakes. Well, they're still here, and their souls are in people that are running these countries. Like I said, there's about 4 million total of all these people running the earth. And then in the Far East, in the Asian countries like China, Cambodia, Vietnam, Korea's, they got people in those countries that have dragon people souls. So that's kind of the 4 kinds. Now these people with reptilian souls, they got their souls in just about every group controlling everything on Earth. They got all kinds of people in politics. The people that own all the large corporations have reptilian souls. All these high spots in the media, all these media people in all the top news channels have reptilian souls. All the top people in the pharmaceutical companies have reptilian souls. All through medical, all the people have reptilian souls. When they were forcing things on people a while back, and people had to choose whether to keep their job or not, those were people with reptilian souls that are doing that. And it's the same thing going with religion. So all the top people in religions have reptilian souls. Now, as far as the pedophiles and adrenochrome. That's done by the draconians. The draconians don't have their normal bodies, reptilian bodies don't have sex. They're androgynous. They just have one sex. So when they incarnate in human bodies, their soul's confused and they often turn gay, and they're putting this LGBTQ and transsexual and all that. That's all done strictly by draconians. The people with lizard souls, snake souls, and dragon souls aren't participating in that. It's only the draconians that are doing that. And if you look on my Who's in Power page to show how evil each group is, you'll see that the draconians are like 98 and they're super evil. They don't care who they hurt or who they kill, because their soul don't have empathy for others. They just do whatever they want. They want to try to own and control everything because they don't have empathy. We have empathy. We care about other people, especially family and friends. And we could never do what they're doing because we would feel so bad and awkward that we couldn't live with ourselves to do the stuff they're doing. All the lies. You notice when Trump lost the election in 2020, how Biden campaigned from his basement, and he got more votes than ever in history. And then Trump also got more votes than ever in history, but he lost. And like Trump was leading various states, and then magically all the votes changed around and Biden was leading. And then they made a movie called 2000 Mules. And you saw people dumping all kinds of ballots in mailboxes in the middle of the night. And there was all this evidence that something was crooked on the election. And there was video and pictures and everything. Yet, when they tried to present all this evidence in various courts, none of the judges would accept it and examine it and have a court ruling over it. And the reason is because all the judges that got used had reptilian souls. And they all follow the leader. There's negative people, they kind of got a pecking order. They got a few people on top, and they tell them what to do, and they follow that, and they're doing horrible evil right in our face because they don't have empathy for others. I don't know if you can begin to see that all over our country in the United States. I look at every fire department of any big city has a person with a reptilian soul running it. Just about every mayor of cities all over the country is a person with a reptilian soul. Every little group all over the place is controlled by a person with a reptilian soul at the top. Somehow they maneuvered it in. Like my wife, I live in Long Beach, California, and we took a driving trip and we met some people. I think it was Fresno, and we had a party that night outside, a barbecue party or whatever. And the guy was in the police department. and I was using the pendulum and checking everybody's souls, and everybody was interested in getting their soul read and all that. Mm. And I asked him what the guy's name was that ran the police department, and he told me, mm, and I checked him, and I came up with he had a reptilian soul. And he was saying, wow, everybody likes him and he's nice to everybody. I wouldn't have never known. And then I asked, did he get promoted up through the ranks in that police department? And he said, no, they brought him in from Oklahoma City or something like that. So they got special moves all over the country to move people around to get their people with reptilian souls in position. Every police department all over. When I went and visit my mother in Lansing, Michigan, I checked the top people there. They had reptilian souls. I had some kind of run-in with the police department there, and the guy did some out of line, horrible things to me and arrested me when I shouldn't have been. And I found out that he had a reptilian soul. Uh, and I've seen it all over the country. Most police departments, the top people have reptilian souls. That's why so many people hate the police for some of the crap they do that's unfair and wrong. Yet some people deal with cops that are human, and they get treated humanely and everything goes smooth, and there's no underhand power trip bullshit. But the ones that do, they're running with a person with a reptilian soul. All these lies and crap you hear on the media. Now, on this Ukraine war, Russia against Ukraine, and the West is supplying Ukraine with weapons like crazy. Putin has a reptilian soul. So that's the main, and the West pretty much has draconian souls. And that's why they hate Putin. You know, it's draconian against lizard, the two stronger factions of the reptilian groups. And now they got caught trafficking children. That's strictly a draconian thing. When a person with a draconian soul has sex with a child before puberty, they get a super high energy rush. That if a human has sex with another human before puberty, they don't get this energy rush. Just the people with draconian souls get that. And so that's what this child trafficking is all about. People with draconian souls, they want to have sex with children before puberty so they can get this energy rush. And they all got each other in positions of power and paying each other high salaries. So they're spending all kinds of money to traffic all these children just so they can get that energy rush. That's what this child trafficking is all about. 95% of all pedophiles on Earth are people that have draconian souls. The other 5% are human, and they don't go for child trafficking. It's kind of like the uncle is having sex with the nephew that lives in the same house. That's the 5% of humans doing it. It's kind of in the family thing, and it's kept hush hush, and it stays in the family, and they ain't looking for other kids and all that stuff. It's just people with draconian souls that are doing child trafficking and trying to get other children involved. Well, trying to think if I got any more good information to add on this. I think I explained myself pretty well, and I hope this video enlightens you to what's going on. This high evil that's going on all over the world. It's all happening because people have reptilian souls that are in power, and they don't have empathy for others, so they don't care who they hurt or what they do. They want to come as close as they can to owning everything and controlling everything. And they're trying to slowly make things worse and worse for us, and passing new laws and trying to arrange for a lot of us to die, trying to make 15-minute cities and all kinds of horrible crap. One thing we can do, if we can tell other people what's going on, that these people in power that are controlling us have reptilian souls. If everybody gets to know this, I think we can rise up and get it to stop. Now, there's a way to identify these people, and that's to check their aura. They have an aura camera you can buy at auraphoto.com. It's real expensive. I don't really expect anybody to buy it unless they're rich. Maybe some group could get it and secretly take pictures of the politicians and stuff, if they could get one of these cameras. Now, they have apps on the smartphones that can see auras. I don't know how good they work, and I think you get one or two free, and then they want you to pay 79 cents for each picture or something after that. I think there's all different deals on the smartphone with these apps to see auras. I don't know how good they work, and humans. If you look on my homepage on my website, which is icheckyoursoul.com. If you scroll down the homepage, you'll see a list of the 10 levels one soul can be on, and each level has a different color. And I think my soul's on the 9th level, so I got like a violent, colored soul. The highest level is purple, and the 8th level is blue, and then it goes green, and right on down. Anyway, when you check someone's aura, their soul will be a color of what the level they're on, or something like that. But these people that don't have empathy, their souls won't have an aura, or their aura will be like a dull gray or something like that, since they don't have empathy for others. So these people without empathy for others could be identified by their aura, and maybe we can rise up and take these people out of power by checking their aura. I can find out who has a reptilian soul by using the pendulum. There's maybe a chance that other people could do that too. I'm not sure. You could try it, and there's other ways to maybe make a device that you can look through and see someone's aura. I think for it to work well, you might have to get real close to the person, though. And I don't think it'll work on TV or something like that. And if you're sitting in the crowd and they're on stage, I don't think it'll work. But maybe if you could get real close to the politician and try one of these apps on the smartphone, or try some device that you can make and take a bunch of pictures of humans first and see what their auras looks like, so you have something to compare it with. We're also waiting for what I call planetary ascension. That's supposed to come up in about 2 years. And right now, our solar system is in third density, the fourth dimension. Now, some writers are saying we're in the third dimension, but this is wrong. We're in the fourth dimension. Its length, height, and width, and a component of consciousness is a fourth dimension. And our solar system on planetary ascension, what I called it, has caught on a little bit. Our solar system's going to move from third density to fourth density. And we're going to go from the fourth dimension to the fifth dimension. And the fifth dimension is a component of time. Time will go by differently. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to be. I don't think you'll be able to dry your clothes before you wash them or anything like that. But maybe you can control that good times last longer and bad times get over quicker or something like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, expect for us to have this planetary ascension. Now, matter and life will be expressed a little differently in each density. So when we go from third density to fourth density, our bodies will change slightly. From what I gather, people that are already alive, when they go from third density to fourth density, their bodies will stay close to the same. But the new people that are born in fourth density, they're going to have taller, thinner bodies, and maybe the organs and all that might be a little different. I'm not sure. I'm told that will be less athletic. And souls that don't have empathy for others cannot go in fourth density. So there's absolutely no reptilians in fourth density. I know some people are writing books claiming that reptilians are coming from fourth density to spy on us or be invisible and see us and stuff like that. It's totally untrue. Reptilians generally on their own planets are third dimension planets. They're in third density, the third dimension. But when you fly in outer space and you're in third density, some of the solar systems you'll come up to will be in third dimension, and some solar systems will be in fourth dimension. So when you enter each solar system, you'll be in one or the others. When we make the move from third density to fourth density, if we were to fly into outer space, all right, I'm back on the video here. That alarm sound was my cell phone. I'm sorry about that, but it was an important call I had to get and stop to start recording again. I think I pretty much covered everything. But when you see this absolute evil going down and these people working together in the government doing horrible evil and passing way out of line laws. They all got reptilian souls. It's pretty clear. It's pretty obvious what's going on. They're working together worldwide. They want to keep it a secret from us. I'm a wanderer, and I supposedly incarnate on a different planet every life, as all wanderers do. They usually have a rotation of 5 planets. And I went through, I graduated or made ascension to 5th density. And 3/4 of the into 5th density, I was asked if I wanted to be a wanderer and come back to 3rd density to help planets that way. And I chose to do so. And I have a long mission of like 1.42 cycles. I'm in the group of 0.8% of the wanderers that come out of 5th density and have a 1.42 cycle mission. Most wanderers, 99.2%, finish 5th, make ascension, finish 5th density, move into 6th density, and 1/4 of a cycle into 6th density. They're in the top 9 in 1,000, and they're asked to be a wanderer. I had to be in the top 8 of 10,000 to be a wanderer in 5th density. And in 6th density, you're in the top 9 in 1,000, less than 1%. And they ask if you want to be a wanderer, but 2 out of 3 turn it down because they don't want to go back to the sorrow and misery of 3rd density. But anyway, try to do good and be real spiritual when you get up to the higher densities and become a wanderer. And you'll do better in helping creation. Now, on my website, icheckyoursoul.com, I recommend to get a soul report. I'm asking 200 right now. Say you watch this video and I'll give you $50 off. You can pay $150 and get a soul report. Now, the soul report includes a consultation where you talk with me and ask questions and whatever you want and bring up your spiritual topics as well. And that can go on for more than an hour. And if you call me on Skype, or if you arrange to talk with me on Skype, I can make a video out of it, out of the consultation, as I had with a few people. You can go on my website and go to my video page and scroll down a ways. The oldest videos are at the top and the newest videos are at the bottom. Probably should be the other way around. But if you scroll down a ways, you'll see videos, so-and-so's consultation. You can play other consultation videos that I did with other people. And you can learn, see what questions they ask, and you can learn more about your soul report. You get about 12 to 15 things on your soul, and you learn a lot of background information. And you can ask whatever questions you want. And it also comes with a money-back guarantee. You can't go through the whole deal and get your money back, but you can get the soul report part and before you start the consultation or waste a lot of my time or anything, you can say this ain't for me and I want my money back, and I'll give it to you. I think I've did over 1,000 soul reports, and 3 people got their money back. two people didn't like something I said, like I made a sexual comment on one person, and another person I started talking about being overweight or something like that as discharging karma, and the girl accused me of saying she was fat or something like that and wanted her money back. And then another person just couldn't understand what was going on and wanted their money back. So hardly anybody wants their money back. I do real good work. And I'll really help you understand your spiritual journey, where you're at. You can be in cycle, which is most people. We're on to go through the zodiac. It's 25,920 years, and it normally takes you about 108 lives to go through that. And when you do, out of those 108 lives, you'll have about 10 of them on other planets, but mostly you'll have them on Earth. And then you might not be at the right time where the window opens when the great year ends. So you try to make ascension out of cycle. And if you don't make ascension out of cycle, as soon as you get to 1.82 cycles, you get moved to fifth density automatically, and you don't want to get there that way. You kind of start at the bottom and don't get a good job or attractive body to the other sex. So you want to get to fifth density by making ascension. So when you get close to 1.82 cycles, you go to a different planet where the window's opening as a star seed. See, the window's going to open on Earth right now, or probably in 2027. And everybody that's completed their cycle and is polarized positive will make individual ascension to the fifth density. And there's like 35 to 40 million star seeds that are here. And they're all here to make ascension. But while they're here, some of them are high skilled, and they're helping humanity a great deal with using their skills. You can look at my list. Go to the qualified helper page, and you'll see a list of people that are qualified for ascension. And a lot of them are star seeds, and some of them you will have heard of. And then there's also a list of wanderers. There's a lot of people that I stopped putting everybody I came across on those lists, so I missed some people. So the people that when we make this planetary ascension and have this other individual ascension, most of the high quality souls will leave Earth, and we'll have a few wanderers left to finish their life, and you'll have a bunch of people that have young souls. And we'll have a hard time running Earth right to make it a spiritual place. So hopefully we can get everybody to learn what's going on. There's a lot of, like, the population on Earth, like in the 1700s, was quite low. And by now, it went from like 1 billion to 8 billion or something like that in those 300 years. So tons of new souls had to come to Earth to fill all those people. And a lot of talented souls were sent here, but because they're in their first or second life, their souls are immature and they don't know how to run the body. So even though there's a lot of people here that have spiritual talent, they have a low soul score and a lot of bad karma. There's a few of those people. I don't know if I should mention their names. I guess one example would be Laura Eisenhower. She does a lot of podcasts and things, but she's got a low soul score and a lot of bad karma because her soul's in the second life. But she has spiritual talent. There's a bunch of people like that. I had a head injury back in 2005, so I can't think of everybody's name. And I don't know if everybody wants their name mentioned on where their soul's at. But if you go on my website and contact me, get a soul report if you can, and I'll treat you real well. And it's got a money back guarantee. You'll learn a lot, be able to ask whatever you want. All right, so that's about it. I guess I'm going to end the recording here. Oh, you can also get a free mini soul reading. If you can't afford a soul report or don't want to pay for one or want to check things out first, you send me an email and ask for your mini soul reading. Read my homepage to learn about it. And the person that sends the email can get a free mini soul reading. I don't accept any lists. You can't list your family on there, just you. Just the person that sends the email can get the mini soul reading, or you could send an email and list one person for a mini soul reading. And with that, be spiritual and do good, and we'll see you next time.